Sentient beings are numberless, we vow to save them all. Delusions are endless, we vow to cut through them all. The teachings are infinite, we vow to learn them all. The Buddha way is inconceivable, we vow to attain it. So greetings, great bodhisattvas. Inzan Gartland here for Sangha Alive, the belated next Zen talk in the series. Apologies. It's a poor workman who blames his tools, but geez, technology ain't all that great sometimes. So, a couple weeks ago we had Wanyo walking into a bar, and this talk is called 12.5%. And it starts with a guy walking into a doctor's office. Sits down at the table, and he says to the doctor, "Doc, I don't know what it is. I don't feel good. I'm just not feeling right. I want, when I'm here, I want to be there. When I'm there, I want to be back here. When I get this thing that I think is going to make me happy, it does for a little while, and the happiness fades, and that's making me even sadder. I'm never satisfied with anything. It's not good enough. It always seems like it could be better. And there's stuff that I just plain old hate that I have to deal with all the time. And then that goes away, but then it comes back again. And I don't feel right. I'm just really uncomfortable." So the doctor says to him, "Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. It's going around. I even had it myself for a time. It can be cured, or at least arrested." "Really, Doc? I don't have to feel this way anymore?" "Well, yeah, but there is a prescription that you have to take in order for it to actually have any effect." "Okay, Doc, tell me what it is. I'll do anything. I can't stand feeling like this anymore." "Okay, fair enough. It's a course of 8 days. You have to keep taking it for 8 days, and then repeat again and repeat again." So you might even think of it as a path. You might. So it starts with right view or right outlook. And that's not right as opposed to wrong. It's more right as opposed to appropriate, proper, wholesome, whole. The kind of thing that you inherently know is the correct thing to do, without being in opposition to a wrong thing to do. And then the next thing would be right thought. And that's where you can look at a situation for what it is, and maybe you just don't tell yourself the same old stories over and over again, how you're the victim, or it's somebody else's fault, or something along those lines. And then there's right speech, which, just mind your tongue. Don't say anything that could injure someone else, mentally, physically, however it might come out. And don't say anything that's going to end up causing you any further grief either. You'd start by telling the truth. It's a way to begin anyway. And not just that opinion that I really, really think I have, because that's not right speech. And then there's right action. And right action is when you respond appropriately to the situation at hand. Right effort is the next one. It means when you're doing something, be immersed in it. If you're stirring the soup, stir the soup. If you're eating the soup, really eat that soup. When you're working, really work. When you're planning, really plan. When you're playing, really play. When you're sad, be really sad. And when you're happy, be really happy. And just accept it. See it. Observe it. Let it go. And then after that, you've got right mindfulness. And that's also where you're paying attention to what's going on, but it's more where you're watching your own actions. You're paying very, very close attention to things. Then you have right livelihood. And that doesn't mean that you're supposed to find a job that won't give you any stress, because it's really not about that. It has more to do with earning a living in an ethical way, not taking more than you deserve, not settling for less either. Getting an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. Doing it at an occupation that isn't the kind of thing that is going to incur any damage. Yourself, others, the environment. Something that you can lay your head on the pillow at the end of the day and not feel distressed over having been doing it. And then you've got right meditation. Okay, right meditation means that you contemplate. You watch the thoughts come and go. You don't attach to them. You don't have the conversation with, somebody you were just having an argument with, and in your head it's continuing to go on. You watch your thoughts come and go, even if it is having the argument. You watch the argument come and go. So, you think you can do that? Well, Dr. Shakyamuni, I don't know. I think I'll just do like one of them, and then I'll skip the other 7, and the next week I'll start up with the one of them again. And I think like I never did that with antibiotics, where I would say, on the whole course of 8 days or whatever, I would take it, feel a little bit better, and then, I would just stop taking it. Which one of them do you think you're going to pick? Right mindfulness, perhaps? Well, says Dr. Shakyamuni, good luck with that. So that's where the 12.5% part comes in. If you know your arithmetic, 1/8 is 12.5%. Okay? So there is a lot of picking and choosing going on. As I said, the Buddha already pretty much said, okay, here's 8 things do them and it'll be better for you. It may not be perfect, but it's going to be better than it is now. You'll be able to function more fully as a human being. Even if this world is samsara, you'll find the nirvana in it. So there's a lot of talk these days about mindfulness-based interventions, mindfulness-based stress reduction, mindfulness seminars being given at, corporate headquarters, military installations, major capitalist institutions, and I'd say fine. If you're introduced to the Dharma because you saw it on the cover of Time magazine, wonderful. But don't stop at the 12.5%. Go with the right effort thing, the right diligence, and fully immerse yourself into the other 7 parts of the path. It's obvious to me, anyway, that when somebody tells you something and they say, if you do this, it'll work out okay, and I choose not to do it, even like just experiment and see if maybe, might work out okay, then that's my fault for not trying it. On any given day, some of the Eightfold Path comes a lot more naturally than others do. Some days, just don't want to make the effort. Just going to slide by the old 8 and skate routine. You go to work, you do just enough to get by, and then see ya. How is that going to relieve my sense of dis-ease? It's not. I'm probably going to feel guilty the next day, or maybe I'll have to practice not right speech and say, yeah, I was really, really busy yesterday. I just don't have anything to show for it. All those things where we sidestep what we inherently know, what's in our hearts and minds as the correct thing to do, the proper means of conduct. When we intentionally don't do them, then the dukkha, the suffering, the struggle, the dis-ease, the dissatisfaction, and all that is going to come back in gangbusters. So I'm going to wrap this up now, but if you want to find a cure for the dukkhitis, that's not Dukakis for you American Democratic presidential voters from, a decade or two ago. Dukkhitis, the inflammation of your dukkha. Try practicing the Eightfold Path. It's been around for 2,500 years or so. Seems to work. I think I'll give it a try. Thank you.